Okay, to encourage and work with the federal government to complete the gas master plan, our Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources continues to engage in that, and we have actually taken a step since the last summit to establish the Ibile Oil and Gas Corporation, which is a state-owned corporation, and that is a vehicle to drive partnerships in this sector so that Lagos can actually become, a major producer of gas, with at least in more than sufficient quantities to support our power infrastructure. In the area of agriculture, the resolution was to collaborate with other state governments to boost agricultural production. We have to date acquired about 700 hectares of land from other state governments where there is agricultural activity going on with a view to supplying the food requirements of the city of Lagos. Every day, 4 billion naira is spent on food by Lagosians, and that's a sizable market. Only about 10% of that is produced in Lagos. And given our limited, land availability, we have thought it wise to do, just this, collaborate with other states. Agriculture has, since 2008, enjoyed a higher percentage of our budget. Indeed, between 2011 and 2013, the allocation to the agri sector grew by 84%. We have some laudable initiatives in that area, and we're very proud of the achievements, especially with respect to youth involvement in the business of agriculture. Okay. This is just graduation. The last batch of youth, Agri-Youth Empowerment Scheme. Then we have also the Rise for Job initiative. And then, moving on, lots of initiatives to improve the way that food is, sold and transported within the state. More large-scale mechanized rice cultivation. We have grown in the last 5 years the acreage under rice cultivation in Lagos from about 20 hectares to over 500 hectares today. And since the last summit, we have also established a rice mill at the Imota here in Lagos. Okay. In the area of transportation, again, the resolution was that we should encourage long-term investment in infrastructure. That has happened, continues to happen, and this is one of those it will remain a work in progress for a while, to come. There are about 10,000 roads in Lagos, and it will take a while to bring all of them to the state that we will all love to see them. But we have made significant progress on the Blue Line rail construction. The Lekki-Ikoyi link bridge is a masterpiece and has become part of the city, the landmarks of this great city. Okay. In terms of water transportation, lots of, progress and initiatives. Okay. Develop activity centers in individual local government areas. There is a holistic urban and regional planning policy, and there are new development areas emerging around the city. To boost public transport, consider congestion charging. That's the one that I said we have stepped down. Focus on raising quality of road project implementation. There's been lots of traffic lighting, street lighting projects around the state, and you're going to hear more about that. Okay, our transportation plan, master plan, remains under focus and constantly reviewed. There'll be a major review every 5 years. Okay, another key one was to embark on behavior change. Okay, that remains. That's again an ongoing engagement, and there's a lot of public advocacy. There's a lot of tangible support also, like free life jackets to all boat operators, just to improve safety on our waterways, which will become a more important future of our public transportation in Lagos. Okay, create park and ride facilities, a lot of progress in that area. In the area of housing, essentially, there again, we have made impressive, progress. Lots of, completed about 3,000 units under our Lagos Home Ownership and Mortgage Scheme, Lagos Homes for short, that have been delivered, and about another 3,000 will be delivered before the end of this year. And these are just pictures. And the houses fit different pocket sizes and different tastes, as you would see. Okay. There's also a lot under construction that will be delivered in the course of the year. And these are some of those under construction in different parts of the state, different stages. Promote wider participation in development planning. Again, that's, the stakeholders in all of these development areas are being engaged. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is a report of what we've done with your specific resolutions. But in the area of power in particular, we've done a lot more beyond what the resolutions at the last summit required. And at this point, it is my pleasure to invite a young lady who is leading a team of young people and who have been in the forefront of delivering most of the progress that we have seen in the power sector. And she will come and take us through that.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Damilola Ogumbi. I'm the General Manager of the Lagos State Electricity Board, and I'm going to talk to you about how the state has really focused on energy development. For the last 3 years, Lagos State government has believed that a long-term perspective into the development of the energy sector is critical for any type of development in Lagos. We were lucky enough to partner with the Department of International Development the Department of International Development in the UK, DFID, along with Atkins, to come up with a future-proofing project, cities project for Lagos. What that does is that it actually evaluates all the risks that we have, but tries to transform our risks into actual opportunities in terms of proper planning for the energy sector. And we're also very proud that Lagos State government is the first city in Africa to actually have a Lagos Energy future-proofing project. So how does future-proofing work? What it is that we took our path agenda, which is critical to our state, and looked at how we were going to evaluate how to maximize the amount of power and energy development to those sectors, and merged it with obviously energy and power being in the center. So what happens is you derive a set of implementable projects over a short and a long-term period. So things like implementing an IPPs, which is ongoing, coming up with a clear electricity policy to aid both Ikeja and Eko Disco and anybody who wants to embed power into the country, and obviously capacity building. Right now, I wanted to, piggyback on what the co-chair said in terms of data capturing. Lagos State government probably has the most comprehensive data on where the energy is needed and how much is needed. So far, in our energy audits, which we've done from Magodo to Lekki to Ikpori, we've done over 13,800 locations. And we found out in those locations, there were 17,000 generators. This means roughly people are using 162,000 liters of diesel just in that location. To put it in language we all understand, that's 26 million naira a day. Just on 13,000 locations, it's being spent on self-generation. But more importantly, apart from the harmful environmental effects, we realize self-generation actually costs 4 times more than the daily average of the national grid. So all the queries that we have, can people pay for power, will they pay for power, they're already paying for power, and they're paying for it in a harmful way by polluting the environment with petrol and diesel generators. Moving on, this year in particular, Lagos State also decided to look inward. Instead of just going and calculating how much power it used all around Lagos, we actually decided to now look within our facilities. We've just finished a comprehensive study of all the secondary schools in Lagos, which was 655 schools, and we found out even within our schools there were 987 generators, and the combined capacity that they need is 14.8 megawatts. But we've now taken it a step further. We're now mapping all the data, so you can actually choose a catchment area, calculate all the Lagos State facilities in that catchment area and how much power it needs. We also did an audit of the facilities for both discos, so I can tell you that main day school is being fed from this feeder and this transformer, so if anything goes wrong, you can actually evaluate the chain. This is the early state that is doing this amount of data, and obviously it is to assist the private sector in making sure this privatization is successful. Finally, I'm going to talk about our most recent intervention into the whole energy sector, and that is the Lagos Energy Academy, which is starting later on this year. Everybody, well, not everybody knows, but there is a huge gap in the skill sets of trained technicians that are actually going to be the ones fixing this problem. We're all here in the conference room and it's perfect, and we're all engaging, but the people that are going to fix the transmission lines, the meters, are the people on site. So Lagos State government thought it was important to actually have an institute of best practice, which will be internationally recognized by the likes of Siemens and other UK universities, to train our young technicians and also retrain people in energy development from anything from transformer fixing to public lighting to traffic management. And this is an intervention that Lagos State government is starting because it's very important. We have about a 20,000 person gap, and if we do not fill that gap, we will not have development to the energy sector. Thank you for listening.
Well, I'd like to thank you all in advance for an engaging summit, and to say to you, keep the resolutions coming. We have demonstrated that we do not gather here biennially to simply talk shop. We mean business. And so we believe that, as you have noticed, over the years, the number of resolutions from one summit to the next keeps increasing. We believe that reflects your growing confidence in our execution capacity. And we assure you that that remains in place. So please get to work at this summit, and we look forward to receiving the resolutions at the end of the summit. Thank you.